any other equipment. No? Then, the receiver naman, definitely, device din siya that received the message. So, the equipment, it's just like yung sa sender. Can be a computer, workstation, telephone handset, television, and the likes. Then the transmission medium is the physical path by which a message travel from sender to receiver. So this one includes yung twisted pair natin, mga wires. So in data communication or sa Infocom Tech 1, you're familiar with the RJ45. Pag RJ45, mga twisted pair inside. So we have 4 twisted pair, no? So parang we have 8 wires. So pwedeng tapos different categories na yan, kung Cat E, Cat 5, or Cat 6 na ba yan, yung pinaka-latest, no? So it pertains sa mga speed that can yung mga twisted pairs natin are capable of. By the way, may I know from the group, bakit twisted pair? Ba't twist nila yung dalawang wire sa mga RJ45? Familiar na kayo sa RJ45, right? Yung sa ginagamit natin sa mga device natin or sa mga computers natin. So why did they twist nga yung wires natin? Anybody? Sa group? Ba't twist nila?
Sir.
Okay, go ahead. Sino yan?
Para po maiwasan po yung yung electromagnetic interference po dun sa cable.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Good. Pero sino yan? May I have your name?
JV Claveria, sir.
Claveria. Thank you, JV. Yeah, that's para maano yung mga interference, no? Kasi pag may mga eddy currents tayo, so you just twist the pair, then we have yung mga cancellation. So magka-cancel yung mga noises sa wires natin. It's a very simple solution to the hard problem before. Kasi very noisy before yung mga pairs natin, mga wires. So when they twist them, na-eliminate yung problem na yun. So, yun yung twisted pair natin. So, pag mga twisted pairs natin or the RJ45, it is suggested na we just use 100 meters. No? That's the allowable, meaning the signal, if you use the 100 meters, is within the specifications pa, no? In terms of noises and other interference sa information natin. If you go beyond the 100 meters, still you can communicate or definitely you can communicate, but the assurance na the clarity of the signal will be there will be minimized or it will be compromised yung signal natin beyond the 100 meters. No? Kaya yun ang suggested pag twisted pair, ilimit mo lang siya ng 100 meters. If not, you use the coaxial cable ngayon. So the coax cable, normally we use the RG59, ano pa ba? I forgot the last number, no? The bigger the coax cable, the less the resistance. Kaya may mga 50 ohms resistance tayo sa coax. May mga coaxial cables naman tayo na they have yung mga impedance of 75 ohms. So, because of the different sizes ng coax cable natin. And that plays into the quality of the signal being transmitted. No? So, dapat it should match yung impedance that you're using or yung resistance, whether kung mag 50 ohms ka or 75 ohms. If not, kung different yung impedance mo, you use a matching stub, no? Para mag-match yung dalawang coax cable mo. So the coax cable, uh, if you're familiar sa mga cable television nyo, ang gamit nila doon is coaxial cable. Meaning, meron siyang protective wrapping outside, yung block, then inside yung may mga cladding siya, or before yung cladding o yung parang white, no? It's a wire, yung smooth wire. So this is for the ground. Then after the cladding, you will see yung copper wire. So yung copper wire, yun ang may mga different sizes tayo doon, no? So that's the coaxial cable. Then the fiber optics cable, hopefully, since na hindi na siya expensive as before, hopefully for us in the coming months or maybe months ba? Or konti na lang siguro, no? Meaning from the internet service provider, from their end, up to your device, baka sa PC or sa laptop, it will change. Yung RJ45 magiging coax na fiber na siya. Meaning from the equipment, from the internet service provider to your device, kung fiber optics ang connection mo, it will be much, definitely it will be the faster, no? Baka yung mga giga na mga bytes na dinadownload natin, it will just take them a few minutes or seconds lang, no? So that's the good thing about fiber optics. Then the radio waves, it can be the microwave systems natin, or what we call yung mga terrestrial communications natin. Yung between yung mga land stations natin, no? Yung tinatransmit lang natin yung signal through sa mga antennas natin. So the most famous for this one are the microwave systems natin. Then by the way, kung may questions kayo or if you want to add other informations, you can interrupt me anytime, no? Para just contribute sa discussions natin.
Sir, excuse me po.
Okay, go ahead.
Under po sa data communications yung sa radio.
I didn't get the question. Sorry, paki-repeat po.
Ano po,
Is
sir?
it a question or is it a statement? Sorry.
I'm asking po if included po yung radio transmission sa data communications.
Yes po. It is included po yung mga radio communications natin or yung mga radio waves natin. Kasi sa radio waves natin, or yung kung maging specific tayo, may mga sa microwave system, nakikita nyo yung mga tower tapos may mga antenna sila parang palanggana, yung malalaki tapos may mga cover.
Yes po, sir.
Those are the microwave antennas. So those microwave antennas, although some of them are analog in nature, analog sila, pero yung dinadala niyang information is digital in nature. So yun ang kagandahan, no? Parang analog siya kasi mas malayong nako-cover niya distance yung analog system natin. Pero yung dala niyang signal is digital siya. So parang nagra-ride lang yung digital form natin. And yun ang tinatawag natin mga radio waves. One of the example is yung microwave systems nga natin. So it can be other, basta't gumagamit siya ng mga radio waves, no? So radio waves means it is more on analog in nature. It uses the ground propagation system. Para mag-bounce yung signal mo, gagamit siya yung sa lupa or kung may mountainous area siya, you study that one, kung paano mag-bounce yung signal mo para makarating on your opposite end. So they found out na analog signal travel further sa LAN propagation compared sa uh, digital signal. So yung digital signal natin, limited lang siya. Pag limited yung digital signal natin, dumarami yung mga antennas natin. Yeah, in between. No? Just like yung uh, sa mga cell site natin, no? Sa mga cell site natin, uh, darami yung tower mo, yung signal mo, meaning uh, kasi marami yung nagko-cover sa iyo, no? Doon sa mga gadgets niyo, sa mga cellphones. No? But kung kokonti lang yung mga cell site, then there are instances that you will lose yung mga signal natin or no service ka palagi. No? If you go beyond the limit of your cell site transmitter. So yun ang ginagawa ngayon ng mga telecommunication companies na marami silang cell site para they can cover almost or they can cater no, almost yung mga subscribers nila or users nila. Hopefully I were able to answer your question. Okay lang ba yan or malabo siya? Hello? Okay lang ba?
Hi, sir. Okay lang po.
Yeah. Okay lang. Sige. Thank you. So, yung protocol naman natin is a set of rules that governs yung data communication. So, it represents agreement between communicating device. Without these sets of protocols, it will be chaotic sa ano natin. You won't have this conferencing kung walang protocol na sinusunod ngayon. So definitely meron. That's why we're having this conference natin or this meeting. Then yung mga standard organization, so these are associations of organizations, governments, manufacturers, and users form these standard organizations and are responsible for developing, coordinating, and maintaining these standards. Yun ang kagandahan, no? Nag-uusap sila para meron tayong sinusunod talaga ng mga, later on, these are mga sets of rules and mga standards. No? So, para nga hindi siya chaotic yung sa data communications natin. What do I mean? Kasi kung wala itong mga standards na ito, example, yung Apple device lang siya, yung that can communicate with each other. If you're using an Android, kung hindi sila nag-set ng mga protocols, you won't able to communicate with Android device. No? So if you want to text, if you're using an iPhone, gusto mong i-text yung kaibigan mo na using an Android phone, you won't able to do that one. But since they follow yung mga certain standards and mga protocols, yun ang kagandahan. Any device, because of the sets of standards that they establish, we can communicate, no? Sa mga ibang mga vendors and mga companies. No? So the first one is the International Standard Organization or the ISO. So International Organization for Standardization on a wide range of subjects. So it is comprised mainly of members from the standard committee of various governments throughout the world. So mga governments ang nag-uusap dito. No? So it is even responsible for developing models which provide high level of system compatibility. No? So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, in example ko. So meron tayong system of compatibility, yung quality enhancement, yung improved productivity and reduced costs. Okay? The ISO is also responsible for endorsing and coordinating the work of other standard organization. No? That's why if you buy a device, kung marami po siyang mga sticker at the back or inside it na may mga ISO, may makikita kang IEEE mga standards, meaning member siya doon and it passed sa mga standards po nila and mga sets of protocols. And for us user, it's much better. So second, sa mga organization is the International Telecommunication Union Telecommunication Sector or the ITU T. No? So one of the four permanent parts of the ITU International Telecommunication Union based in Geneva, Switzerland, it has developed three sets of specifications. No? The V series for modem interfacing and data transmission over telephone lines. As I've said sa isang class, I don't know if you have experienced this one since you're quite young. Baka maybe not, no? Baka hindi nyo na experience na before to connect the internet, they use the telephone lines. So in connecting sa internet, you use the telephone lines. For us to do that one, we need a modem. No? Kaya meron siya dito yung modem interfacing. Because the telephone line, it has only two wires. At yung two wires na yan, it has a negative 48 volts, no, in nature. And it is purely analog, yung telephone wires natin. So how can you pass an analog signal, a digital signal, into an analog signal? No? So before kasi ang purely use ng telephone natin is for audio lang siya. No. So yung audio naman natin is, as you know, is analog, that purely analog siya. So the problem before is meron tayong analog system. Gusto kong padaan yung digital system ko. No. Anong gagawin natin? No. So they developed the V series. So this one uses a modem interfacing so that we can transmit yung digital signal natin over the telephone lines. Yan ang kagandahan, yung mga engineers po yung may mga nag-solve dyan. Meaning engineers, mga scientists din yan. Then the X series po for data transmission over public digital network, email and directory services. Then the I and Q series for the integrated service digital network or what we call the ISDN. In our country po, we did not experience the ISDN, especially in Pampanga. Nag-migrate po kagad tayo from, hindi po tayo duman sa ISDN. These are for the telephone companies po kasi. What we have is yung Converge, so they uses their cable television system in providing the internet na. So yung mga telephone companies natin such as Digitel before, PLDT, and the Telcom were not able to purchase yung mga device for the ISDN. Kasi sa ISDN, it's quite expensive yung device. Yung service integrated network or the ISDN, this one is capable of providing, let's say, before you have the service for facsimile. Facsimile is just like kung para yung Xerox copier natin na scan mo siya from your end, then it will be transmitted using the telephone lines to the destination, parang a photocopy of what you have scanned. No? So, ganun yung facsimile before. And you can use the teleconferencing. So it is tele talaga. Meaning, ang term natin ngayon parang video conferencing. But before it was teleconferencing. So you can see yung mga faces po nila and mga voices. But these are not as clear as of today yung technology na we're using. No? So, ayun po. Hindi, ang alam kong nagkaroon lang ng ISDN network sa Philippines is Makati. Kasi it's the business central ng Philippines. So, it was implemented somehow in Makati yata, but it did not prosper. No? So, hindi siya ganun ka-wide. No? I think it was just a trial version. Then, the third one, question ko nga pala, dinatnan nyo ba yun? Na you have the telephone system pero magkoconnect ka ng internet, gagamit ka ng modem. Dinatnan
Yes
nyo
po,
yun?
sir. Yes po.
Dinatnan po, sir, ang tagal po.
Yung may ingay pa siya, yung
Yes, po.
ding,
Dial,
yung
parang dial up.
mag-handshake pa siya.
Aray.
It's what we call the handshaking sa mga modem. Oh, dinatnan
Yes,
nyo pala.
Dial up, sir.
Yes, yung dial-up. Naging ano pa yan? Ano ko
Kayo po,
sabihin?
sir. Dinatnan nyo po, sir.
Ay, matanda na ako lahat. Dinatnan ko.
Bagay po.
From the, ano pa, anong tawag namin before? Yan, dinatnan ko lahat. Pati yung mga computer na mga 486, hindi nyo na alam yun. Na you install the OS system using 14 diskette. Install mo yung Windows 3.1. So pag in-install mo yung Windows 3.1 before, meron kang 14 diskette. Kaya lang pag pinaka-last diskette, pag yun ang nasira, ay, you need to reinstall. That's why when they came up with the CD, tuwan-tuwa kami kasi isang CD na lang siya. Then of course it evolves until now. Pwede mo na siyang i-program remotely yung mga PC mo. Ano nga kasing gamit to program them remotely?
Team viewer, sir.
Yes, may mag-team viewer ka na lang. As long as you are provided with the password and the code.
Sir,
So
may
you
tanong
can...
po ako.
go ahead. Sino muna? Hindi ko ano.
JV again, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Di ba, sir, nung una, ano siya, yung gamit niya, sir, yung remote desktop connection?
Yes. Inalis ng ano yon ng Windows. Ang ano bang version ng Windows na meron siya? Nung nag-Vista siya, Windows Vista and definitely Windows 10 wala na yung remote desktop. Inalis nila sa OS nila. But the XP, pati yata ang XP wala na. Ano before ng XP kasi?
98, sir? Windows 98.
Yes, Windows 98 meron pa siyang remote desktop. Yung pag in-install mo yung OS, it was there. Kaya nga ngayon, pag may definitely Windows 11, Windows 10, wala na siya. That's why if you want a remote desktop, nagda-download ka ng PuTTY or Teraterm para magkaroon ka ng remote desktop application. It was important before para from PC to PC, you can communicate na lang. Basta alam mo yung specific address or IP address. I hope ganun nga yung question. Did I answer it?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. Any more questions po?
Ako po, sir. Wala po.
Okay. Sige. Parang siya si Obi-Wan Kenobi. magsalita, baliktad. Okay, then the next one is the Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, or what we call the IEEE. So this one is an international professional organization founded in the United States since compromise of electronics, computers, communications engineer. Of course, it has a wide members. No? Here it's 200,000, but ilang taon na ito. So definitely it increase na yan. No? So this one develops yung communication information processing standard. No? Yung underlying goal po nila is yung advancing yung theory, creativity, yung product quality, and in the related field of electrical engineer. Pag sinabi nating electrical engineer, nandiyan na po yung electronics engineer. Kasi sa kanila, in other countries or in the United States before, walang electronics engineer. It is just electrical engineers. So, yung field natin was derived from electrical engineering. Then we have the American National Standard Institute, or we have the ANSI or ANSI, or ANSI na lang. It's the official standard agency for the United States. And is the US voting representative for the ISO. So ANSI is a completely private siya, non-profit organization comprised of equipment manufacturers and users of data processing equipment and services. So yung mga kasama dito are the people from professional society, industry, association, government, regulatory bodies, and consumer goods. No? Kaya if you notice, kahit na lang yung mga plugs lang natin or yung mga sockets natin na ginagamit from the computers, no, to other devices, kahit sockets or plugs lang, may mga standards na sinusunod siya. May mga sizes po sila. No? Mga specific standards. Then, we have the Electronic Industry Association, or the EIA. So, non-profit pa rin siya. US trade association that establishes and recommends industrial standards. No? So, sa industrial standard, yung sinabi ko kanina, kahit mga sockets lang siya, they have certain standards. No? Kung ano yung mga size, no? Kung bakit siya may butas yung mga plugs natin. No? So, all of this one have mga specifications, no, to follow. So, yung EIA natin, activities include standard development, increased public awareness, and lobbying, and it's responsible for developing the recommended standard series of data communication. Yung word na lobbying dito, it's in the United States. No? I think, but also here it's Pilipinas, kasi our form of government was based on the United States. No? So for them to pass certain law, there should be a lobbyist, or they should know mga congressman to propose yung mga laws. No? Without knowing anybody sa Congress, you cannot pass yung mga laws na gusto mo or yung mga standards na gusto mo. So sa kanila, dumadaan yan. So someone has to propose yung mga bills na yan. So these are yung mga representative nila or yung mga congressman po nila. So just like dito rin sa atin sa Pilipinas, if you don't know anybody sa Congress, kung may gusto kang ipasa na batas, how will you go about it? No? So dapat you know somebody from the Congress para i-propose yung law na gusto mo or standard na gusto mo. Parang ganun po siya. So, politics was or is involved sa mga ganitong mga standards. Then, number 6, we have the Telecommunication Industry Association. So, leading trade association in communication and information technology. So it facilitates business development opportunity through market development, trade promotion, trade shows, uh, and standard development. So it represents yung mga manufacturers natin of communication and information technology product, and also facilitate the convergence of new communication networks. So I guess these are the one that in charge sa mga conferences, no? Or pag may mga product development, mga yan, no? Mostly sa mga conferences mo lang makikita na ipopromote nila yung mga products na it follows yung mga standards po nila. And kung may mga new technology, that's the opportune time to present yung mga products po nila and yung mga ibang suggested protocols po nila. So, very important po. If you become an engineer, then you want yung mga latest technology, you attend yung mga ganitong mga gatherings po. Then we have the Internet Architecture Board. So, the IAB, earlier known as the Internet Activity Board, is a committee created by ARPA, the Advanced Research Project Agency, so as to analyze the activity of the APRANET, whose purpose is to accelerate the advancement of technology useful for US military. Actually po, yung talagang internet, before kasi the United States military was concerned about their communication system. So they want a redundant system. If their communication breaks down, what other means of communicating with the different po nila sa military. So they assign by is the word, or it was ano po sa isang university, given sa university yung problem na yon, and that university together with the students propose nga po yung internet, no? Para yung US military nila will have a redundant communication system. So from there po, sa pag-aaral ng mga students, so they come up with the internet. So ayun po, until it grow in exponentially yung use ng internet, no? Until sa time na the IPv4 na address that they developed was also depleted. No? So that's why IPv6 was created. No? So through the use na rin ng ganitong board po or organization. No? Especially po yung Internet Engineering Task Force or yung IETF, hindi po yung IATF natin. No? Iba po yan. So this one's a large international community of network engineers, operators, vendors, and researchers concerning the evolution of internet architecture and smooth operation of the internet. So definitely po, these are the engineers or scientists that develop po yung IPv6 natin. So before they come up with the IPv6, marami pong trials yan. So they assume po yung mga Internet of Things, kung kailan po mauubos yan, yung mga IP addresses. No? So hopefully po hindi po natin siya maubos. If not, if they will incur again the same problem as IPv4, then they will definitely develop another addressing scheme for the future use sa internet, ng mga IP addresses. Okay? Then last is the Internet Research Task Force, which promote yung research importance, yung evolution of future internet by creating focus, long-term and small research group, working topic related to the internet protocols, application architecture, and technology. Ngayon po, tanong ko lang, as a future engineers po, or kahit na ngayon pa lang po, For you, what's the future ng internet? What do you want na internet to provide kung kayo ang tatanungin ko?
Mas mabilis po, sir, tas mura.
Hmm.
Ang mahal po kasi ngayon, sir, tapos
Sa atin lang naman ata di ba? Pero
Opo,
sa
sir.
ibang bansa na that problem is being handled na. So what else in terms of applications po? Sige, Chantel.
And then, sir, ano lang po sa nationwide connectivity para po
Okay.
kahit nasaan.
pati po yung sir, mga alien, sir, mga
Ano yung mga alien? Alien
Mag-connect.
as in outer space or
Opo, sir.
alien yung mga walang bisa?
Mag-connect sila sa atin, sir.
Uh-huh. Mas nakaka-nervous tayo pag may
Di po, sir.
ganun.
Opo, sir, pati po yung mga mga exploration nila sa sa outer space. Kasi po gumagamit sila ng net, di ba, sir? So yun po. Feel ko mas makakatulong if mas ayusin nila doon.
Okay. Pero kakabahan nata tayo pag may ibang nag-respond sa mga messages natin, no? Na hindi taga dito. So anybody else? Ano pa yung gusto nyo makita in the future with respect sa internet? Sige nga, si Carl. Mukhang may idea si Carl. Can you share it with us? Angela?
Hello po. Good evening.
Yes. Go ahead, Carl.
Ano sir, yung ano ba yun? Parang ano sir, sa buong country, yung ganong kalakas na internet.
Okay,
Parang kaya, ano na? Sa'yo ba yan? Nakuha ko, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Kasi yun ang pangarap talaga
Oo.
na connectivity. Sana walang problema kahit na sana wala nang data limit, no, sa paggamit sa mga mobile natin.
Opo, sir. Data
Oo
cap
nga
po.
po.
Data ka pang
Data cap.
correct term?
Opo, sir.
Okay. Sana walang ganon yung pag nagbayad ka na, okay, yun na yun.
Oo nga po,
I
sir.
think it's possible naman in the long run. Kaya lang, if you notice, may mga ano din yan, no? May mga politics involved, no? Ayaw nilang may nag-o-offer sa atin, ayaw naman ng iba dahil for security reason. So maraming dahilan, I don't know. So they must work it out. Yung mga ganun na mga scenario. Others pa? Si Legion, mukhang may idea siya. Legion, can you share it with us? Wala bang mic? So si Junie Jacob Garcia, full-scale implementation of satellite-based internet. Okay. Ang ano lang sa satellite, when you use the satellite, then...
Sir, hello po.
Sige, Legion, before
Testing ko lang po yung mic kaya nawala po ako. Sorry po.
It's okay.
Ano po
Sige.
yung tanong po ulit?
If you're given a chance, what's the internet? What's the future ng internet for you? Or what can you offer? Kung ikaw yung may gustong gawin.
Siguro po masyado na pong masyado na pong pagtitingin into the future po. Siguro pagtatanim na po ng microchip sa pinaka po ng brain, sir. Yung as in na wireless na po. Kaso lang po, sir, kapag na-access po ng hackers yun, 24/7 po kayong marirecroll.
Yun lang, ano. Okay. Thank you, Legion. Talking about hacking, just to inform the class, no, kung in-email niyo po ako using kasi yung account ko lang yun sa How. So, hindi ko po siya ma-access ngayon because ewan ko po kung anong nangyari. It was hack or... So I need to go sa school one of these days po to reset my email po. No? So if you emailed me, kung hindi ko po yung nasasagot, then pasensya na po. That's the reason po. So it's a nice concept po, and eventually papunta po tayo doon. No? Again, kung may konting politics po yun, and ano po, the installation ng mga microchip po within the human brain or body po. May marami pong politika po yan, or it's a long discussion po. Not only in politics and other field of mga ibang field of expertise po, sa medicine, sa field of electronics, communication, and other concerned entities po. Pero it's doable po kasi yung idea po na yun na implanting a chip, they have done it before sa mga amputee. Yung naputulan po ng kamay, naputulan po ng mga legs. If you notice, pag hindi po siya yung ordinary ano lang po, prosthetic ang gagamitin, makikita mo pag naglakad, alam mo kung gumagamit siya ng fake na paa, di ba? Pero pag when they integrate it sa brain po, saka gumamit po sila yung mga robotic leg, hindi you cannot determine na amputee po siya. Parang normal lang yung paglalakad niya. They can go up and down the stairs without no problem po. Kasi po yung brain siya yung magpro-provide ng mga signals sa robotic leg or arm. So, ganun po siya ka-advance. So, thank you, Lijan, for the idea. So, meron pa po ba na gustong gawin sa internet? Kung kayo yung tatanungin, baka pwede nyo lang pong start ngayon, gawin nyo siyang business nyo or idea nyo, then yayaman po kayo. Anybody? Wala na po. So kung wala na, let's continue po on the data communication po. So dito po sa layer natin, it's what you have discussed. Hopefully, ay ako rin pala yung infocom tech nyo, no? Sa yung mga OSI layer po natin, yung mga 7 layers. Did I discuss them well? Palagay ko hindi. Hopefully in this one we'll discuss them hopefully po thoroughly or until you understand them po, no? So why do we use yung mga layers natin po sa network architecture po natin? So that sa atin in the end, yung pinaka end result po natin so that we can read yung messages that that was sent to us, yung data that was sent to us also, no? Meaning yung data, it can be in the form of video, in the form of audio, or maybe both, or text, or mga numbers po yan, so that we can receive them accordingly po. So that's the function ng layering. It's almost time na rin pala. Hopefully po you will read this one, no? Yung mga 7 layers po natin. So sa 7 layers po natin, yung data natin is called the PDU or yung Protocol Data Unit. So in going up sa mga from layer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we provide yung mga encapsulation, no? Encapsulation meaning we add sa mga frames natin or packets natin. We add headers or tails so that we can identify. Remember po when we send mga information or data sa internet po natin, we don't send it in one big chunk po. Let's say may picture ka, hindi mo siya isa-send or hindi siya nagsisend ng isang picture lang na isang bundle. no? What it does is bine-break niya po yung picture natin into several segments po. No? Kaya ang sinesend niya are mga pockets and mga frames din po. No? Or una-muna yung frames then pockets. No? Depende kung anong level tayo titignan. No? So, during that stage, dahil mga pockets ang sinesend natin, so our device should know how to put it back all together yung yung image na pinadala natin. No? So it is through adding yung mga encapsulation na sinasabi natin and de-encapsulation pag tinatanggalan natin yung mga headers and tails natin. No? So, pag layer 1, may dadagdag tayong headers and tails. Then, pagdating sa layer 2, alisin niya yung header na yun, saka yung tail na yun. Then, pag bago siyang mag-proceed sa layer 3, magdadagdag na naman siya ng headers and tails. So, encapsulation, de-encapsulation ang nangyayari. Until in such a time na sa pinaka-last layer natin, mabubuo niya yung pinaka-informations natin. So, ito pala, decapsulation and encapsulation. So, next meeting, discuss pa natin siya, no? Especially itong physical, data link, network, transport, session, presentation, and application. Yung first 4, yung physical, data link, network, saka transport, ito yung flow of data natin, no? How it flows through the network. Ito. Then this one, yung session, presentation, application, yung how we come up with the information itself, no? Especially dito sa application natin. Then, let's discuss what are being used dito sa application. No? Ano ba yung sa applications natin? Word, pwede siya, Excel, PowerPoint. Ito na yung mga applications natin, meaning we read na yung pinaka-end result natin. So, let me ask yung group natin, okay lang ba kayo dito sa Big Blue or are we going to migrate na sa ano na po?
Teams na lang po, sir.
Teams na lang.
Opo, sir.
Ayaw din. Sige. I think naman yung ano natin is nakalink naman sa
Saan po?
Sa canvas natin.
Sige po, sir.
Sige. So, in any case, maybe you will, ano na lang po, you will have the notification po pag nag-create po ako sa Teams po. No? So, doon na lang po tayo mag-meet on Wednesday sa Teams. Then, kindly read lang po itong yung PDF file. It's easy to understand lang po. Then, insert na lang po tayo mga important notes po kung meron.
Okay po, sir.
If you want, you can share your ideas also.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. So, thank you, Ren, and stay safe po palagi. So, I'll see you on Wednesday po.
Ingat po.
Din
Good
po,
day.
sir.
Okay, sige.
Good day, sir.
Good day, everybody.
Sir,
Thank you po,
sa
sir.
Friday
Day
po,
po.
sir, asin tayo na, sir.
Yes, wala tayong meeting. Friday, wala.
Pati po sa Wednesday, sir.
Wednesday, mag-meet muna tayo.
Sige po.
Okay, sige.
Okay
Good day,
po.
sir.
See you po.